Hello internet friends, so I finally got hold of a HOTAS flight stick for playing with space games, flight simulators, that type of thing. Got it ready to go here. It's the Saitek or Logitech X52. There's a little bit of confusion as to, the name when I've been searching online, but this is said to be a good mid-range one. Not the lowest on the market, not the most expensive and the most fancy for real pros. It's kind of a mid-range one. That's what I tend to go for. Don't go for the cheapest, don't go for the most expensive, go somewhere in the middle. So that's what I've done here, the X52. Now I don't feel qualified to give a review. The last time I used a flight stick or a joystick of any kind was years ago when I first started playing computer games. So I can't do a review, but I thought what I can do is do an unboxing. That's interesting. Let people see what's in the box, how it feels, and then try and set it up with some favourite games, see how that goes. And that should hopefully be an interesting video for people who are interested in getting hold of this stick. So without further ado, I'll get on and do that. I've also got my unboxing setup ready to go, which is cobbled together, so I'm not a professional unboxer like the people who do their unboxings in white spaces in the middle of nowhere. I can't do that, just got a stupid iPad. Alright, let's get on and unbox. So this is kind of exciting for me. I buy lots of games, but it's not often that I buy a new way of playing a game, so it's kind of, whoa, how's it going to change the way I play flight simulators, play space combat games and whatnot. I'm hoping it's going to make them feel a lot cooler, a lot more intuitive, immersive. Let's use that word. 120 I got this from Amazon. Came fairly quickly. That was fun watching it go across Europe. From Germany it came from. Ooh. So not too much of that nasty sort of pointless packaging. There it is. Is that picking up on the camera there? Let me get rid of the box itself. HOTAS X52. So there's a Pro version as well. I got the basic version, and the Pro version is an extra £15–20. I thought, well, I'm not a pro yet. Maybe I can be a pro at some point. So throttle and stick simulation controller, HOTAS. For anyone who's watching who's just exploring these joysticks for the first time, HOTAS stands for hands-on throttle and stick. The idea being that all the buttons that you would need in a complicated flight simulator, space game, that type of thing, are all on the stick. So you shouldn't have to press too many keyboard commands and stuff once you're settled in. You can do everything with the stick. That's the idea, and the throttle. HOTAS. That joke must have been done 100 times. Wow, this is hot ass, man. Yeah, and like I was saying, I have not done the joystick thing since I was a little kid. Joysticks were their default when I was growing up. That's how you played games on PC, with a joystick. It has a precise center, a multi-grip, 3D twist. We're going to try the multi-grip. The 3D twist is interesting. You can have pedals when you're really into the flight simulator stuff. But the 3D twist allows you to do the moving subtly sideways in games, the yaw of the ship. So you twist the joystick to do the yaw. I think that's how it works. I dropped something on the floor there. What is it? Is it important? Probably. It's the suckers. Can't do much without my suckers. Wow, it's big. Look at the size of that thing. I've got to get in this. The first thing, it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be for some reason. I was expecting it to be smaller than that. Let me get that on the screen so you can see it properly. Whoop. Wow, look at the size of that thing. Oh, it feels very cool. There's the twist. Twist left and right. And all the different buttons. So it's kind of a... That feels nice. You've got a pinky trigger there. What on earth is this? There is a... Oh wow, that is so good, isn't it? It's like, I don't know, Top Gun or something. You've got the safety thing, flip it up. Fire! Fire torpedoes. That's a little, like, cursor thing. And I've got another one there that I think we'll be able to move things with. Wow, that's badass. That feels cool. What on it? Oh, right, that's what I was thinking, because I actually bought a USB hub, because the throttle is a different thing entirely, isn't it? It's a different unit. That's the throttle. Let me get this centered. So, you know, as someone who's not like done this for a while, I'm not used to having like a big chunky interface. I move my little fingers and I move the mouse to do stuff in games. This feels so over the top to me, but you know, we'll get used to it. So you can do like configure all different control settings for different games once it's all plugged in. So I've got the function keys, reset, start and stop there. Fewer buttons on the throttle. Another slider there. Wow, this is going to take some getting used to. What's the E? Does that one, is that a cursor thing? Don't know. But there are loads of different buttons. If people are watching this and they think I'm already an expert, just tell me exactly what happens. Well, I can't. I don't know the names of all these buttons. I know they do have names, and I'm hoping to get used to that as time goes on. But for right now, all I know is, man, that's a lot of buttons. So only one USB thing. Like I say, I got the USB hub because I thought maybe that you need two. But I guess it makes sense that they both go through the same sort of input. And I imagine you click them together like this, right? Remove central. That's it. And there. Alright, so that's the basic setup. It looks cool. One of the things, I think the Pro version that I saw didn't have as much blue on it and silver. It was like black. But, oh wow, that is going to feel so cool, like you're piloting the Millennium Falcon. Right, so it's a basic thing. Let's do the suckers. I'll see about putting the suckers on. This is an unboxing. We do everything that comes in the box. I haven't seen any documentation. Oh shoot, sorry guys. Yeah, let's see what. There should be some instructions or something. Wow. I guess it's all, it's all software now, isn't it? So it's just going to be, it'll all be, you know, the software you download for the stick and everything. That's the HOTAS, Logitech X52 HOTAS. That's what it says on the instructions, so that is what I'm going to call it. It's Logitech, but every time I look it up it says Saitek and stuff, so I think it might be a regional thing. Logitech might distribute it in the EU. That's my uneducated guess. Well, that's a load of garbage. That's just safety instructions and that kind of thing. Look at that. In case you were, where is it? There we go. In case you're in any doubt, stick USB in PC, stick, then work. No more complicated than that. So what am I doing with these? We do this. So there's those at the bottom. There's 4. So there should be 8 of these. I would think. it goes in like that and then twists. Go in like that and twist, right? Ah, right. Okay. You twist in a certain way. There's like one side has a place for it to twist and the other doesn't. So you have to twist it anti-clockwise. There we go. So that works. Sort of pinch it and twist it into position. There we go. And there's a little, once you know what you're doing, there's a little snap. Click. We're going to need that vigorous, if we're doing any vigorous joystick wrangling, which is, I mean, that's the reason I bought it, so I can waggle my joystick with force and pitch and roll and do all that stuff. Impress the ladies with my joystick control. Yeah, I think, well, first impressions, it looks badass to me. That's great. Let's get it central. Alright, so that's the X52 out of the box and kind of ready to go. What I'm thinking is, where is the software? How do I get hold of that? Because I'm going to need all that. Look at this. I like these, the way these look like, the T3, all these different settings here. They almost remind me of an old-fashioned VCR, like a 1970s, 80s VCR. Kind of cool, chunky buttons, which makes sense when you're flying at speed at Mach 3. Alright, I'm going to go and set this up now. Let's see if we can get it working with the game. The first game I'm going to try is an old game. See if it works with an older game. I've got Elite Dangerous, which I know it works with. I'm going to try and set it up with a favourite game of mine called Star Wars Galaxies. It has a flight simulation portion of the game. So I'm going to try and figure that out. So let's go and do that. Okay, so we need the software, right? There's the stick. Support, downloads, 52 bits, software, show all downloads. I need a 64-bit version, please. Choose OS, that one. 64 bits. Alright, so that's the software installed. Click on it, bring up the... There we go. Hey! Programming. Oh, that's a lot of buttons to configure. Oh, sensitivity. Yeah, I'm going to need that. Alright, so I think I just start playing a game and try and configure the buttons, I guess. Let's try Star Wars Galaxies. Okay, so I have figured out a way that I think works to show you. It's best to have a camera on my hands and have the game up on screen for you to see the inputs and stuff as I talk through it. So first impressions are, it's good. It feels really good to control and definitely feels much more like you're piloting a starship. You get that immersive feeling. But initially you're kind of fighting against all the ingrained way that you can control things with a mouse and a keyboard. So I'm kind of just getting around that. But so the first thing is this button here, the mode button. So you can easily toggle between the different modes on the throttle there. So as I roll back and forth, I can go through different modes. To keep it simple, I've just done a default mode, plugged it in. I've actually done nothing with the software that I downloaded. I've just mapped the keys to this game in a way that makes sense to me, and it all works. And this is an old game, so you know, pretty much everything that is on the throttle and stick works in the game. There are a few dials and things that don't, such as the throttle, the E, the button that is the E there. That button doesn't work as you twist certain things, but pretty much all of them work. And it's just a case of going through and kind of mapping all your keys, isn't it? So I've got the main fire on the main trigger. to shoot the lasers and stuff. This is kind of good. This button here has 4 different directions that it can move in, so that takes care of my targeting. So for instance, I've got it on, I think I've got it on, let me go and find some enemies because that'll be easiest to talk you through it. So I can cycle through enemies. I've put those, oh god, what did I put it on? That's it. So once we get in range of some enemies, I'll be able to actually cycle through them, but I'm at the limits of my hard drive. I'll keep things recording just so you can see, like, as I adjust the throttle going down, the throttle going up, and I can boost. I've put the boost on that B button there, so just a quick trigger, and now we're boosting through space. It's kind of cool. One of the things with a game like Star Wars Galaxies is it's an MMO, so there are a lot of buttons. So even with all the buttons that are available on the throttle and the stick, I've still got to use the keyboard a little bit. So for instance, to bring up my in-game map, then I go to my mouse to go through and control this stuff. There is a button here on the throttle for you to control the mouse, but I'm still getting used to it. Kind of, I'm wanting to press up there, and instead of pressing up, I press right. So there may be ways to kind of configure this so it feels a bit more intuitive. I can try and do it, like for instance, yeah, when I press down, it goes, yeah. Because obviously you pull back to go up with a flight simulator, don't you? But this is a mouse, so you don't pull back, you push up. So I've got to train my brain, and I haven't trained my brain well enough yet to do that. But I don't know, POI, let's go to that POI, autopilot to that one. But I have mapped, so for instance, when I want to come out of mouse mode, which is a thing in Galaxies, I just click that, and then I'm back to kind of piloting this way. I wish I could find some enemies to actually demonstrate some stuff. Maybe I can just I can boost around and find some here, and I'll get back to you. Just going towards these asteroids, there's usually a bunch of enemies inside the asteroids, so I can show you that there. But like I say, yeah, very intuitive. I put the, like, on in flight games, for me I feel like left and right should move the ship, and up and down should kind of move around like that. So the twist, which I thought was to do with the yaw of the ship, I've put on to roll. So I roll left and right when I twist this stick like that. It feels a bit better to me. I got a lot, I'm already dealing with a lot of new inputs, and my brain is rewiring itself to kind of work. You'll see how, like, I struggle here because I can't remember all my buttons, and you know, orientation in space is sometimes difficult. So okay, we've got some. So now I can tab through enemies pretty easily there, and target closest enemy is that one. So it's all, I'm doing that all with this little mouse button here. Then if I bring it down, there's a option in Galaxies, you know, target the enemy, the last enemy that shot at you. So I have that on this button as well. So all the core commands that are the most important. Right, here we go. Embarrass myself. Here we go. Blam. All right, let's speed up and get out of here. So target closest enemy, that's the one behind me. Throttle down, around like that. We're dead on. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, jeez. This is going to take some getting used to, but I like it. You know, it kind of feels, it just feels cool. It feels like you're piloting a ship. In terms of the sensitivity and stuff, there's all kind of, all right, so let me target the last enemy that's targeting me and go around like that. Quick turn. Then, get lost, you scum. I mean, these are really low enemies, so don't get hit by, I don't know. I'm used to whipping my mouse around, so this feels very convoluted at the minute. So around we go. Got to get used to all this stuff. It's not easy. Get out of there. Get out of there, boost. But like when you go around the asteroids like that, it's weird because you you know, I'm moving the stick, moving the throttle. It just feels a lot more kind of tactile and interesting to fly, more fun. All right, and that button there, I map to fire at whatever's under the reticule, that one there. I don't have any missiles at the minute, but if I did, I'd be pressing that. I'm just going to boost out of the way of these guys, just so that you can see some other stuff to do. Like, so now, one of the main things in Galaxies is I need to find the closest star base, comm the station, and land on the station. That's one of the things you do the most in this game, so I've mapped the keys so that I can do that easily. So that's target Tatooine space station. I've got that targeted. That's a specific command, but I do have all other. There's a button at the back here that you can't quite see, so I can cycle through all friendly targets in the region. And you want to have all those buttons that you use the most, right? Available, and that's I guess that's the thing with these HOTAS things. You want to use the keyboard as little as possible. I mean, I've not really touched the keyboard yet. I just used it to bring up the space map, didn't I? And if I want to look around at any time, I do that with my mouse, just to have a quick look behind you. There are options to toggle and look behind you, and then middle mouse, and I go back to my normal view. So you can see that's pretty easy, isn't it? Bump, 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 and then just hands back on the stick. So when I come within range of the space station, I'm going to comm it with this other, which is T2. Let's line up. Doesn't matter in this game. So comm the station, throttle down, and so then I need to go into mouse mode. It's the thing with it being an MMO and a slightly older MMO. I don't know if there's a way around this. There might be some jump to light speed experts who know, but I do this, and then that toggles my mouse mode, and I can just go to the mouse. Hold on, there we go. And I want to land on Tatooine, and then I can land if I so desired. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it so far. I've got a lot to work out. So once I've figured out all this stuff and how to mess around with different modes, and maybe once I've played with Elite Dangerous, I'll start to get a sense of how this older game compares to newer games. But I love it. I really like it. It does everything you think. It feels good. The software was easy to install, download. I loaded up this game and didn't have to do very much at all. I just started mapping buttons, and it recognized pretty much all of the buttons. There are some that I still need to figure out. Like I say, this slider thing here, this mouse thing, I wonder if I can reconfigure that. But you don't want to make all your decisions based on one game, right? You want to play different games. So I think I'm going to do that, play a more modern game and see how that that compares. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at the stick, and I've shown enough off, and I hope you'll forgive my ignorance, people who know a lot more about this stuff than I do. But first impressions, it's great. I also have to figure out, you know, it kind of feels weird. My platform, my desk is a little bit too high, so kind of I feel like I want the stick down here. And the throttle, so I need a lower thing, but maybe that's just a case of getting used to stuff. Yeah, my hands seem to be too high up here, so I need a lower position. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do let me know, and like, and maybe you'd like to subscribe to the channel. I am playing a lot of Star Wars Galaxies, but I intend to play Star Wars Squadrons when that comes out, and that's one of the reasons that I got this flight stick and other spacey based things. So I'll see you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.